Hello everybody and welcome back to the Everton FC 26 career mode. In this series it is my goal to turn Merseyside blue, bring Everton back on top of English football as well as putting them on top of European football also. We are going for 2 Premier League titles in a row, and with 12 games to go here in this third season, we are on course to get that second league title. 5 points clear of Manchester City. Despite the fact they have beaten us twice this season, we actually are still 5 points clear of them. So hopefully in this episode we can get closer and closer to sealing that league title. But also we have an FA Cup game coming up against Stevenage in round 5. That might sound quite straightforward, but if you didn't see the last episode where we played Oxford United in the 4th round, Oxford United are a League One team in this game. Yeah, just go look at the challenge they gave us in that fixture if you think that Stevenage is going to be any easier. But also in this episode, we will be finding out our opponents in the last 16 of the Champions League. We came 5th in the league phase, so thankfully we bypassed the playoff round. But as you can see here in the playoffs, there's still quite a good few teams left in it in terms of, high quality teams. AC Milan there, despite the fact they're actually 2-1 down to Marseille at the moment. Monaco still in there. Barcelona there, PSG, Inter Milan, Napoli. Still quite a few decent teams in the playoff round of the Champions League, so it will be very interesting to see who we end up getting drawn against. But we'll kick things off in this episode with a quick sim game here at the Stadium of Light against Sunderland. They are currently bottom of the league. We've got a full strength team, so if we don't win this game, then I'm going to be very, very annoyed. Let's just put it that way. Let's see, can we get the job done here against the Black Cats? Yes, we do. It took a late enough winner from Kai Rooney to get it, but look, once we got the 3 points, I was going to be happy with that. Akliouche opening up the scoring, Isidore getting an equaliser for Sunderland, but as I say, Kai Rooney with yet another goal this season, getting the winner to seal all 3 points. Now it's time for us to actually play a game ourselves in this episode. Going to be playing the highlights against Tottenham here. They are currently down in 14th place, but despite that league position, I don't want to take them too lightly. They still have some good players, so let's see if we can get the job done here ourselves. Here come Tottenham now, 12 minutes into the game, looking to create the first opportunity. Here's Tell, good save by Jordan Pickford. See what I mean? Didn't want to take Tottenham too lightly. They still have a lot of players who can do damage. I'm actually kind of surprised they're as low down the table as they are, but can we go up the other end and take advantage of our opportunity? Yes, we can. And who else but Kai Rooney to get it? 1-0 here inside 27 minutes. And we've been given the opportunity to go on a counter-attack here. Tottenham's attack ended up coming to nothing. Here's Rooney. Oh, Mainu making that run. Brilliant play. Kobbie Mainu does double our advantage. Brilliant ball by Rooney. Lovely finish then by Mainu to top it off. And we lead Spurs by 2-0 going into the half-time break. And the first bit of action here in the second half is going to be a penalty here for us. Dusan Vlahovic stepping up to take it. He scored one against Manchester United not too long ago, and now he scored one against Tottenham. 3-0 here, 3 points now surely sealed. A fantastic first game in this episode, at least the first game that I've played in this episode. Okay, I tell you what, we've been given a free kick here in quite a dangerous position. We don't get many of these. I've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a fair bit out, but I'm still going to have a go. Let's see, can he score his first free kick in an Everton shirt? Oh, for a second I thought it was going to sneak in. Oh, unlucky. And speaking of unlucky, I bloody knocked my microphone right off my desk literally seconds after that, and for a second I thought I broke it, but thankfully all is fine. But what's not fine for Tottenham is that we have just battered them by 3-0. So 2 games to kick off this episode, 1 quick sim and 1 highlight game, and both of them ending with 3 points for the Toffees. We kicked off this episode by simming against bottom of the table Sunderland. Now we have second bottom of the table Coventry here. Again away from home, but again we have a full strength team. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, lads. Let's quick sim it. Do we get the 3 points? No, we get a draw. Yeremy Pino scoring in the 13th minute. Grimes getting an equaliser. And that was the final goal scoring contribution of the game. A 1-1 draw away from home. Look, Not the best result in the world, but not the worst result. We're still comfortably on top of the table, so I'm not going to panic too much over it. Well, I tell you what, we're not panicking, but Liverpool seem like they certainly are. We've gotten an email here to say that the Liverpool position has become available, and Vicente Luna, every time I see his name I want to call him Vicente Luque, has heard that we could be a leading candidate and says it could be an exciting opportunity. Curious to hear your thoughts. Here's my thoughts, Vicente. What the hell have you been drinking? Please let me know that beverage so I can avoid it. Why would I want to leave the best club in Merseyside to join those bottlers there over at Anfield? Honestly, what a ridiculous email. Things thankfully went a lot more smoothly in this FA Cup game against Stevenage than they did in the last FA Cup game against Oxford. Esteban Lapal opening up the scoring there after a great run by Philogene. And from this moment on, I just knew that this was going to be a comfortable game. Sometimes you just get that feeling that, yeah, this is going to be one of those days where we just absolutely run through the opposition. The only reason I didn't quick sim it was I didn't want to take the risk of getting knocked out of the FA Cup with a quick sim. At least in the league, we can make up ground from any points that we drop, unlike in the Cup. But speaking of the Cup, I did say that anytime Jake O'Brien played in the Cup, he would be the captain. We gave him the captain's armband in this game, and that was a brilliant header there from today's captain for Everton. Brilliant ball in by Luna, and a beautiful connection there from Jake O'Brien to double our advantage. That captain's armband looks very, very good on him. Then for the third goal, speaking of Luna, who assisted the second one, he scored our third one here. Good ball in by Eric Bullum, I think that was. And a pretty simple finish then from the Lionel Messi regen. Then we move on into the second half, where Peter Malloy, the player who we loaned out to Cardiff for most of this series, of course we called him back in the last episode, he got his second FA Cup goal of the season. Keeper got a touch, tipped it onto the post, and it still ended up in the back of the net. And then Emmanuel Ameja, who honestly had a pretty quiet game for somebody of his quality up against a team like Stevenage, did manage to get his goal. That was 5-0, and that was us through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. But now, lads, the attention switches over to the Champions League, and let's just say we had a very familiar opponent in the FA Cup this past Friday on the channel, and now we have a very familiar opponent in this episode, but this time in the Champions League. I think a few of you might have figured out already who we're going to be playing. You guessed it, lads. Celtic are the opponent for us here in the last 16 of the Champions League. Wouldn't you just know it? I tell you what, I had a feeling it was going to be Celtic. When I saw the teams left in the playoff round, I purposely didn't mention them because I didn't want to jinx it. But here it is, the first team that we used on the channel in FC25 career mode, coming up against the first team that we're using here on the channel in FC26 career mode. What a time it was during that Celtic series, lads. Still my most successful series on the channel in terms of views. I know a lot of my subscribers came from there as well. There's still people now watching that series for the first time, which is absolutely crazy for me. And would you believe, this past Friday was the 1 year anniversary of when we won the European Cup with Celtic in the final episode of that series. And here we are now a year later, and we need to beat them if we want to progress further here in the European Cup with Everton. I think it was Monaco they played in the playoff round, Celtic. Yes, it was. They drew the first leg 0-0 at Celtic Park, but they actually won the second leg 3-2 in Monaco. Fair play to them. In the league phase, I think they finished relatively low. Yeah, they came 22nd in the league phase, so only narrowly qualified, but still, look, they got the job done. As I said, they ended up beating Monaco, and now they are playing Everton here in the last 16 of the Champions League. And I'm really glad as well that the first leg is going to be played at Celtic Park. Will we be teleporting through the brick wall again? Some of you will be hearing that statement and being like, what the hell are you talking about? But if you know, you know. And there it is, lads, in all its glory, back at Paradise, but this time as an opponent to take on Celtic. Are we going to teleport through the brick wall? That is the big question coming into this. Honestly, it would be so typical that EA would fix the one glitch I wanted them to keep in the game. I can't remember if it was before or after the players walked out. Oh, it looks like they might have fixed it. Oh, I think they have. Oh, what a bunch of spoil sports. That's annoying. Basically, if you were wondering what I was talking about, in FC25, before every European game at Celtic Park, the camera would like teleport through some brick wall. I think it was by the tunnel at Celtic Park. It kind of became a pre-match ritual for us, but unfortunately, they've actually taken it out of this game. Oh well, listen, at least it's still there in my memories. But Celtic look like they haven't made too many changes to their squad. Still a lot of familiar faces there. Dejan Maeda still playing up front. Of course, they would have replaced Kasper Schmeichel by now. He has retired. And Callum McGregor still up front there. Alistair Johnston did leave them though. I do know that. But that's our team. Listen, it's going to be weird being an opponent here at Celtic Park. It really is. But I have to show them no mercy. I really do need to get a comprehensive victory here. So without further ado, let's get into this game. Oh, lads, I have to be honest, it's so great to be back here at Celtic Park. It really is. Even as an opponent, it really is great to be back here at one of my favourite stadiums. It was such a great series as well, that Celtic series. It really was. As I said, still the most successful on the channel. And look, I know there's been a little bit of controversy since then. People have been asking me to do another Celtic career mode, and I've made it clear that, look, I kind of like to do 3 different teams every year. I don't like to do the same team in back-to-back years, but I will say this. In a few years' time, we definitely will return to Celtic Park and do another Celtic series. I tell you what, Celtic could be in here though. Bloody hell. Bit of an early scare there from the Glaswegian team, but thankfully we escape without conceding. Yerby Pino looking to whip in this ball. It's not the worst ball in the world. Vlahovic wins the header, but right at the keeper. Been a bit of an intense game so far. Not many clear-cut chances. But listen, with the way games used to go in the Celtic series, you just know it's going to take one moment of absolute chaos for the deadlock to be broken here. I tell you what, Celtic looking to go on their first serious attack of the game. Lovely bit of skill there. Can't get bloody near them. It's a save, and then it's a bloody goal! Oh my god, Celtic have taken the lead! Completely against the run of play. Pickford initially makes the save. It's surely not. Surely it's not going to be the case of Celtic ending the treble dream for us here in this career mode. It simply can't be. Honestly, I might actually delete the channel if that ends up being the case. Well, listen, they know a thing or two about famous results here at Celtic Park in Europe against big teams. We did it ourselves many times in that career mode. But this is the one time I really don't want it to happen. We need to get back into this game. Oh, Adam Wharton getting dispossessed there. Celtic, I tell you what, at the moment, they are playing like bloody prime Barcelona since they got that goal. Sanders now. He's looked very dangerous for them. Why is Jake O'Brien coming out that far? I thought it was Branthwaite I was controlling. Here's Kenny, the Irishman. Engels, who we didn't really give much of a chance in that Celtic series. I literally cannot get near them. What the frick is going on here? Trying not to swear. Good interception by Robinson. Bloody hell. I thought we were never going to get that ball back. Here's Rooney. Come on. Kai Rooney into Mainu. Rooney making the run. Rooney. Good interception again by Sanders. He has been absolutely everywhere in this first half. I'll be honest as well, lads. Those you'll never walk alone chants are really getting on my nerves at the moment. Mainu now looking for Akliouche. That's going to be half time. We are 1-0 down here. It was against the run of play when they scored, Celtic, but since they got that goal, they have been absolutely battering me in this game. Can we go on the first attack here in this second half? Pino's pass gets blocked. Robinson will find Rooney though. Rooney on the turn. Vlahovic. Adam Wharton. Oh my god, what a save by the keeper. Oh, I just feel like... I really just feel like this is going to be one of those historic European results for Celtic here at Celtic Park. I really do. Here is Jake O'Brien. Into Dusan Vlahovic. Can we finally get this equaliser? It's not happening, lads. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you now, Celtic are going to win this game 1-0. Oh my god, I was just about to say no, they're not. Oh, I was going to turn into a bloody panto performer there. But Jake O'Brien can't repeat what he did against Stevenage. Wins the header. Oh, but puts it over the bar. Well, I tell you what, I said they'd win at 1-0 Celtic. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a second goal here with Kenny. What a save by Pickford. That should be 2-0. Bloody hell, Celtic. I was going to say I wasn't familiar with your game. I was, but that was under Joe Turl. Turl's Titans. Brendan Rodgers still here in this series. And I tell you what, he seems to be doing quite a good job. I have to give it to him. Not that he didn't do a good job in real life, of course he did, but obviously didn't leave on the best of terms with the Celtic board at the very least. But I tell you what, I'm not going to be on the best of terms with Celtic Football Club if I don't get an equaliser here. Trent, get your head out of your bloody arse, lad. He has been terrible today. Jake O'Brien now up against Days and Maeda, and that goes out for another corner. Right, we need to make some changes. I have made a couple of changes. I did bring on Luna and Eluadi. I've actually kept Trent on, but I'm going to play him a bit further forward because Mainu was absolutely knackered. Vlahovic, is he onside? Is he onside? Yes, he is. Oh my god, we get the equaliser here. I was trying to pick up the ball. I don't know why he's running away. It's 1-1, less than 20 minutes to go. Bloody hell, have we had to work hard to get this equaliser. So much for keeping this episode family friendly, but here comes Celtic again, marching forward. Pickford thankfully catches that. Come on, try and get that ball as far away from our goal as possible. Keep the bloody ball. What is going on? Unbelievable. Engels looking for a bit of revenge for us selling him in that series. Maeda, one of the best players of the series. McGregor, who had a decent time in it as well. Good interception. How much out of time is there going to be? Only 2 minutes. Come on, Yeremy Pino. I'd love to go into the second leg with a lead, especially considering we probably don't even bloody deserve it. Adam Wharton. Oh my goodness me, Adam Wharton has done it. And we have stolen a victory here at Celtic Park. Oh my god, I showed respect against Oxford, I really did. I thought I was going to do it here against Celtic, but this fixture was so bloody frustrating that I feel like I need to celebrate. McGregor looks absolutely dejected. They updated the game and they still haven't fixed this bloody centre circle glitch. Nice one, EA. Oh, but nice one, Adam Wharton. For a second I thought it was going to hit one of his own players. Somehow he hasn't. Well, he has hit the post. Somehow it hasn't come back out off the post. And it looks like we have stolen the victory here at Celtic Park. Yes, we have. The referee literally blows the whistle straight away. Fair play to Celtic. Honestly, I really thought that was going to be another famous victory for them here at Paradise. But we do end up turning it around. Oh, let's hope the second leg is a lot more straightforward than this one was. I am going to quick sim this next game here against Brighton in the league. We did have a couple of tired legs, so I've made a few changes. Eluadi goes in at right back. Trent moves up to midfield because Mainu is knackered. Luna comes in on the right for Akliush. Emeja up front for Vlahovic. Can we get the 3 points here against 9th place Brighton? Yes, we do. And it's Luna, the Messi regen, who we did start for the first time in ages in the league, it feels like, in this game, who ends up getting the winner. And it's yet another 3 points for us here in the league. But now it is time, lads, for this second leg here of this last 16 tie against Celtic. I really hope this one is a bit more straightforward than that first leg was. Celtic will feel very hard done by that they didn't get anything from that game. I mean, they'll probably feel like they should have won it, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't really disagree. But hopefully this second leg will be a bit more straightforward for us here as Celtic travel to Merseyside. Here's a Rooney now, who didn't get a goal in that first leg. He'd love a goal here. In the second leg, I'll be a lot calmer if we can get this opening goal in this game. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Didn't exactly have the best game at Paradise. Akliush was also a bit invisible in that game, but he's the one who gets the first opportunity here in this second leg. Good ball in by Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Jake O'Brien wins the header again, but unfortunately puts it wide. Oh, good interception there by Kobbie Mainoo. Thought he was going to give a free kick there, but fair, says the referee. Here's Vlahovic. Can he see Yeremy Pino? Yes, he can. He sees Rooney. Has Rooney stayed onside? I think he has. Yes, he has. It's a brilliant finish as well, which gives us the lead here on the night. Only Rooney's 4th Champions League goal of the season. Wow, definitely not as impressive as last season, but look, we won't worry about that. The main thing we're going to focus on is that not only do we have the lead on the night, but we now have a 2-goal lead on aggregate, and what a finish as well that was to put us in front here. Tell you what, a second goal on the night would well and truly calm the nerves. Good interception there by Carter Vickers. But you know something as well that's worth keeping in mind? With all due respect to Celtic, not exactly one of the better teams in the Champions League this season. 22nd in the league phase. Listen, in fairness, they did really well to beat Monaco, but they're not exactly one of the juggernauts of Europe. So this does kind of make me a little bit concerned about who we might get in the quarter-final if we do advance on through here. And I'm still going to say if, because I really wouldn't be surprised if Celtic did end up turning this around somehow. Not really a lot happening since we got that opening goal of the game. Here's Maeda now. Back over with Tierney. A player who we didn't actually use in the Celtic series. He was on my shortlist at one stage, but we never ended up actually bringing him in. Of course, he would rejoin Celtic in real life not too long after it. Here's Akliouche now on a good run. Rooney, 2-0. And surely now that is game, set and match here in the last 16 of the Champions League. Rooney's up to 5 goals now in this tournament. And I surely now can safely say that we are in the quarterfinals. Oh, good interception there by Rooney, who is on a hat-trick. Listen, I said it, I can't show any mercy towards Celtic as much as I have that soft spot for them. I need to make this as comprehensive a victory as possible. Good interception there, but yeah, there's going to be more goals where those first 2 opening ones came from. And there is one here, but it's actually for Celtic. And of course it happens when, for whatever reason, the recording decided to stop. But Johnny Kenny has pulled one back. It's 2-1 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate. This tie is not over yet. I did say it, Celtic do have the ability to turn this around. They found a way back into this game, Celtic, but let's make sure that that was only a consolation. And here is McGregor now. Surely they're going to get this equaliser. No, they're not. Robinson with a really good tackle there. I had to go quiet. I had to make sure I was as focused as possible there. And now we look to hit them on the break. Rooney on a hat-trick. This would surely completely wrap it up. And surely now it has. Oh my God. Honestly, never a dull moment. We say it time and time again on the channel. It's quite literally the slogan. I mean, I don't know how many times we ended up saying it in the Celtic series itself. And now we're saying it against them here. Kai Rooney gets the hat-trick. 3-1 on the night. 5-2 on aggregate. Please tell me that has us now in the quarter-final. I can't do with any more stress, really. I'll give it to Celtic. They keep pushing. They're down, but not quite out yet. Bernardo now, another player who we didn't really use an awful lot in the series. And it's another save there by Jordan Pickford. Oh, Maeda. He's turned Trent there. Engels. Maeda does pull another one back for Celtic. 3-2 on the night, 5-3 on aggregate, but there's just over 10 minutes to go. I'm saying it now, Celtic are not coming back from this. I'll tell you what, they might pull it back on the night though, because once again they're on the attack. Good ball in, Elawadi clears it away. Just boot it away, Luna. That was the worst clearance I've ever seen in my life. Vlahovic has it here. Are we going to get an opportunity to score a fourth? Good interception. That's it. Blow it up, ref. We do advance on through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League for the second year in a row. All the credit goes to Celtic though. They made us work for it. 3 goals from 3 attempts there for Kai Rooney. Look, as happy as I am, that does make me worry about some of the tougher opposition we could face. We can't put in another performance like we did in this, well, in that first leg I should say, where we were dreadful, but we were slightly better here in the second leg. 3-2 on the night, 5-3 on aggregate. And you know what, we'll wrap things up here with one more quick sim game, an away trip here to the London Stadium to take on West Ham. They're down in 15th, so let's see, can we get 3 points to wrap up the episode here in a sim game? Yes, we do. Jeremy Pino, Kobe Mainoo and Dusan Vlahovic all getting on the score sheet after we initially went 1-0 down, but thankfully we turned it around and ended up hammering the Hammers. And that means that this is how the Premier League table is looking here at the end of this episode, lads. After 31 games, we are 11 points clear of Chelsea in second place, who've jumped above Manchester City. And as you can also see there, they have a game in hand as they take on Coventry, which is a game they'll probably end up winning. But look, regardless of that, we're in a very good position and we are on track to win our second Premier League title in a row. And hopefully the first part of an historic historic treble. I can confirm as well that in the FA Cup we have an away trip to the Hawthorns in the quarterfinals. So listen, I'm not going to be taking them lightly, but that's a game we should be winning. But as you can see here, there's still some big teams left in the competition. United, Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, even Bournemouth I think could be tough. So this FA Cup is far from won just yet. But I do expect us to go through here against West Brom. Famous last words. Now I haven't actually checked the Champions League opponent yet, so we're about to find out together who will we be playing in the Champions League quarter-final. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's either PSG or Real Madrid. Let's see, am I right? No! But we will be playing another Madrid team, Atletico, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Well, listen, there's another throwback to the Celtic series. In season 4 of that career mode, we actually lost a Champions League final to Atletico, but I'm pretty sure we beat them in the semi-final the following year, if memory is serving me correctly. Yeah, look, a tough tie. Listen, no doubt about it, but probably not the toughest tie we could have got. City still in the tournament. At least Real Madrid or PSG, one of them will be knocked out for the semi-finals, so at least that's something. Leipzig and Benfica, that's a very interesting quarter-final. Fair play to the two of them. But listen, we can only focus on our job. We have to take on Atletico Madrid and hopefully get through to the semi-final here, and hopefully go on to win the whole thing. But lads, that will do it for this episode of the Everton FC 26 Career Mode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this episode, please do hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel as well. We are just over 50 subscribers away from 800, so please do hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying this series, and I will talk to you all on Wednesday for the next episode. Have a good one, and take care.